And to take this conversation forward, we are now being joined by Mr. Shailesh Haribhakti, the chairman of Shailesh Haribhakti Associates, who is joining us. Mr. Haribhakti, good morning. Thank you for joining in. You just heard from some of our experts calling it a landmark order, enabling cleansing of the system. Do you agree to that? What do you make of this SEBI order which came in last evening?
I think it's an order which is drawing a line in the sand. It is telling people that while we are a liberal capital market regulatory framework, we will not tolerate egregious behavior. And look at the way egregious behavior has been demonstrated in this particular case. There was a cautionary order by the NSE earlier. There was very clear indication that they were asked to restrain their activities. But despite all these warnings, they decided to continue. And so what this order says is that they will have to deposit 4,843 crores with SEBI, which is approximately 10% of the purported gains that they have made in the markets. And they've been asked to not access the capital markets anymore until the full investigation has been done. I think this is an appropriate way in which a regulator like SEBI must make sure that the integrity of the markets is protected. And while we understand the whole idea of why there should be index options and futures and option trading and all of that, I think it has to be done under constraints. And this is what this order is saying.
Okay, so you say it is a good step which is taken by the regulators. Mr. Haribhakti, this is just an interim order that has come in from the SEBI, right? What do you think could be the next course of action for them? And this is one of the highest, or I think the highest which has been penalized in terms of a figure in the Indian market in terms of an order. Do you think there could be an addition to this number since this is just an interim order?
Yeah. I mean, this is just not a penalty at all. It is just an impounding of some of the gains that have purportedly been incurred. So full investigation will be done. Practices will be looked at. There is layering, which is very clear. Multiple entities acting in concert, which is clear. There is also a very significant amount of at expiry manipulation that seems to have occurred. So all of these will be taken into account when SEBI finishes its complete investigation, and I'm sure a landmark judgment will be delivered. This is not yet a penalty. This is just an interim order to impound some of the gains.
Mr. Haribhakti, you mentioned that this is drawing a line in the sand for a lot of these market participants. But the kind of order that has been issued by SEBI, it mentions the amount, the extent of which the manipulation was done, particularly in the banking index by Jane Street, as the order highlights. Now, does that also show that there are certain regulations that still need more tightening from the regulators and to prevent any further such issues from cropping up in the future?
No, to the credit of SEBI, it must be said that as soon as the first hints of Jane Street's activities was visible, they came up with regulations which tightened the F&O process, as we are all aware. And it is these regulations which will now be looked at from the sandbox of these regulations. SEBI will now conduct the investigation and reach its conclusions.
Okay. So, Mr. Haribhakti, just taking the point forward to what my colleague was saying as well. So, according to you, there are no more corrective actions that need to be taken, generally asking from an industry perspective for now.
So, basically, I feel SEBI's regulations will continually be tightened as they start seeing different kinds of egregious behavior, as it has been coined in the context of Jane Street's activities. And that will continue. It is not as if something that is done at a point in time is going to be valid forever. So there will be a continuous evolution of regulation. There will be far more deeper scrutiny of things which look out of line, and the integrity of the capital markets will be preserved. That confidence has been given to market participants.
Absolutely. Credit where it's due, of course, Mr. Haribhakti. Thank you so much for sparing time and sharing with us your insights on this order, which is the big talking point of the morning. Thank you so much for joining in. The markets, well, they continue to remain where they are. The Nifty absolutely at the flat line. 25,400 is where the index stands. We take a short break. On the other side, the management of Pearl Global joins us to discuss the impact of the trade deal that took place between the US and Vietnam on the other side. Stay tuned.